Hello and welcome back to my channel. I am back from Italy and I know that's all you have seen on my Instagram. I do not apologize for that, and also my hair is red. Just a little update. My brother is here in the room because he refuses to let me do this video alone, but he doesn't want to be on camera. So that's that. We came up with a list, my entire family and I, of do's and don'ts while traveling in Italy because we made a lot of mistakes, but we also made a lot of good decisions, and we just overall learned so much that we have all this knowledge now. We just feel like we need to impart it on someone. And if you're traveling to Italy, if you know someone that's traveling to Italy, definitely send them this video because I really think it will help them. I wish there was a video like this before I went because it would have saved us a lot of money and a lot of time. Actually, an entire Google Doc here ready for you, so you know that this is actually this is a planned video and we're gonna get straight into it. We're no time to waste. Before we get into each city of Italy, maybe we'll take you through, well, I'll take you through because my brother is literally staring into my soul. I don't understand why he just won't sit here.
I'm not looking at you, just sitting. We're just watching the video.
So stupid. Okay. We went to Italy for 2 weeks and we basically did south to north, but with a little detour to Amalfi coast. So if you see the map of Italy, most people from Singapore at least either go from Milan to Rome or Rome to Milan. We did Rome to Milan because we knew that we would be shopping, so that's a pro tip number one, to do south to north if you'll be shopping, because most of the shopping you'll be doing, and when I mean shopping I mean like luxury shopping, so they'll have very big items, will probably be in Florence or Milan. So put those to the later end so you won't have as much luggage in the beginning. But the bad thing is that your flight, if you're taking SQ, you will have to have a stopover for Rome, which is, I think it took us 16.5 hours, and we had a stopover in Copenhagen, but it is a direct flight to Milan. So I mean, you pick and choose what you want to do, but I think I really enjoyed the route that we took. So for us, since we had 2 weeks, we decided to also take a detour to the Amalfi coast, which is actually even more south. So literally we went from here, instead of just going up, we went down and then back all the way up, which in retrospect is a little bit much, but I don't really see it like possible any other way unless you do Amalfi coast on its own and you want to go through all the towns and everything for like a week or so. That's up to you, but because we wanted to cover all the cities as well, we decided to do this route. So it is a little bit like extra, and it is gonna definitely cost you more time, effort, money, whatever. It was worth it. I think it was worth it. I think in general Italy is a very beautiful place, and one thing I really in general enjoy before we get into the nitty-gritty is that the people are very nice. I think I was very scared of not being able to speak Italian. The only place where we actually faced a problem with that was Milan, surprisingly, but every other place everyone could speak English.
But I will say,
okay.
It's useful to know like some basic Italian.
Sahil learned Italian.
Like basic Italian, like because every single sign, every single menu, it's primarily in Italian.
Dica is decaf. Cafe soya. Cafe latte. What?
So, you know, simple.
Grazia. We learned the word
God.
grazia. Ciao, 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 ciao. Buongiorno, buonasera.
Jesus Christ.
So let's get into the specific city. So we started off with Rome. Rome we had about 1.5 days, which honestly was more than enough. I'll start off by saying Rome is for the history buffs. I am not. I don't like museums. I don't have an appreciation for them, very honestly. I don't understand what's happening. My brother, on the other hand, he loves museums. He loves the history and the architecture and everything, and he loves the stories that go behind it. I don't, as I said. So we spent about 5 hours total doing tours of all the historical places in Rome, which I'll get into. Okay, most of the historic. Sahil, are you going to be in the video or not? Because it is not something that I love, but I cannot go to Rome and say like, oh, I didn't see the Vatican Museum, or I didn't see the Pantheon, or you know, like I would love to see it, but I think an entry ticket would have been enough for me. I don't think I would have needed a guided tour. I think I would have just appreciated it walking in like half an hour, look at the beautiful sculptures and the paintings, and I would have appreciated that. So that is one pro tip. First, check whether you want to buy an entry ticket or a guided tour, because is not necessary if you're not interested. For what you should visit, what we really enjoyed was the Colosseum. That was really nice. But that one, I feel like even if you're not interested, you should just get an audio tour or an audio guide at least, because it's actually pretty interesting. The Roman Forum is very, very big, not that interesting. And also, one more thing to note, in June when we went, it was ridiculously hot, the weather. So that was a big pain for us. Like, that was a very, very big drawback, the weather. Like, I don't think we've experienced this kind of heat, because it wasn't humid to say that we were sweating all the time, but it was hot. The sun was very, very harsh, and it made us very tired, very dehydrated, headaches, everything. So anything out in the open honestly was just not that great. Pantheon is really not much as well. Like, you just go in, see it, and then walk out again. I think the most interesting was the Vatican Museum. I really liked that, and also the Colosseum. So save your money and do those only.
Pantheon and Colosseum, I think a guide was fun because they just told us stuff about it that, you know, I mean, it makes you appreciate it better. And for the Vatican Museum, the only good thing about the guide was that you don't get lost in the museum. Like, it's actually huge, so that is something to take note. And the Roman Forum, like you said, it was really hot, so because of that, like, just don't do it in the day. Like, you won't enjoy it at all. Like, from the start to the end, it was like a proper like hour in like the 5 different areas of the Roman Forum. I just wanted it to be over because it was so hot and I was not having a good time.
Okay, so Amalfi Coast. Now, we decided to take a private car hire from Rome to Amalfi Coast, and I would actually very strongly recommend you do that. If you were to take a train, what you would have to do is you would have to take a train from Rome to Naples, and then Naples again take another mode of transport, whether it's bus or train to Sorrento. Again, if you're traveling with like 1 luggage and if it's 1 or 2 people, very much doable. But if you're going in a big group, a private car is honestly the way to go. It is more expensive, but it saved us a lot of like hassle and stress, and I think that's what we really needed as a very stressful family. If you want the contact, like, just DM me. I'll give you the contact for the driver.
He's a very nice guy.
He's a very nice guy. His name is Tony, and he was a very sweet man, and he charged us very reasonable rates compared to any other private hire that you would.
It was basically like a tour in
Yeah.
it, like, because he was like, oh, this is da 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 da, oh, that is da, da,
Yeah,
da, da.
I actually gave his number to one of my friends who was actually going to Italy with their group of friends, and they are actually using him. So
Really?
yeah, even like other people are also using private cars, so it's very normal. Amalfi Coast is a little bit confusing because I was under the impression that Sorrento, Positano, Amalfi, they're all towns within the Amalfi Coast, but that is not correct. Now, I am not 100% sure still how it really works, but from what I understand, there is Sorrento Coast, there's Amalfi Coast, and then there are all these like little towns along the 2 coasts or something like that. I honestly don't even, you know what, I don't even know what I'm saying. Just listen to this. All these towns, quote unquote, are very near each other, and you can travel to one to the other through a ferry, which you can download the app Ferry Hopper and then book your ferries. The only thing is, which town should you stay in, right? Do you stay in Amalfi itself? Do you stay in Sorrento, Positano? This is what you do. You stay in Sorrento, okay? You stay in Sorrento, and for 1 day, you, like, if let's say you have a full day, you take a ferry to Positano first, and from Positano you take another ferry to Amalfi. So you cover both Positano and Amalfi in 1 day, and then your home base should be Sorrento. Now, if you have time, if let's say you have another day, I would highly recommend you do a boat tour to Capri. We did a boat tour with Get Your Guide, if I'm not wrong, or Viator. I can't remember one of them. I will leave the link for what we did below, but I would highly recommend this tour. It is quite expensive, so book in advance so you get cheaper prices, but it is very worth it. I think that was the most fun day out of the entire trip. So I would say save a whole day for just Capri if you're going to do the boat tour. They take you through the town, they take you on a boat, you get to see the Blue Grotto. What else did we do? You get to do the chairlift.
Like, a lot of stuff you have to pay extra. So
Yeah.
you are paying for the boat, okay?
Yeah, you're not
so
paying for everything.
Chairlift, pay extra. Blue Grotto, pay extra. Everything, pay extra. So
Yeah.
just be aware
So,
of that.
well, whatever it is. And then, okay, speaking of tours, another tip that we've learned for Sorrento at least is that a lot of these tours you can actually get in the town itself. instead of booking through third-party platforms like Get Your Guide, Viator, and all of that, because a lot of these platforms hike up the prices. That's no secret. But honestly, when we did the comparison, I feel like yes, we would have saved money, but it wasn't even like half the price or anything. It was still expensive, so it wasn't that we were going to save fortunes. And I personally like having everything booked.
Peace of mind.
Peace of mind. It gives you the peace of mind that okay, today you end up here, today you end up here. But for this specific tour, I feel like because it was so expensive, maybe we could have explored options, but at the same time I don't know whether we would have found this amazing tour. So you know, do as you will. We'll just give you the tip that actually you can book your tours from Sorrento itself.
Positano, we made some big mistakes in Positano, okay? So basically, Positano, there are 2 beaches and a town, okay? That's basically all you do. So to get to the main beach, there's 2 routes you can go, one of which is not on Google Maps and one of which is. The one on Google Maps is basically a hike all the way up steps and down for about 20 minutes, and
more than that, half an hour.
It kind of destroyed us.
You don't need to do that.
And then we found out that there's a straight road. So, you know, just ask some people there.
Amongst the towns, we have been to all of them, and honestly, I still think Sorrento is the best, because Positano, if you Google it, right, it is the very like happening, trendy place, and a lot of people recommend you go to Positano, but you will see that a lot of people don't recommend you to stay at Positano, and I will reiterate that 20 times in this video. Do not stay in Positano. It is very, very fast-paced. It is very narrow. It's a much smaller, much more crowded town, whereas Sorrento is a lot bigger and people are a lot slower. Granted, I feel like because Sorrento is bigger and you don't get food at your fingertips, you know, it is a walk, like 10-minute walk down in and out to the city, not the city, the piazza, basically, the town area. So that's the only downside. But like, you know what, again, pick and choose your battles. We are very, very fortunate that we stayed in Sorrento. We're very happy that we do that. So that's like our biggest like takeaway. Stay in Sorrento if you're going to the Amalfi, and then take ferries out to the different towns and do Capri on your own day. Now, if you have some extra time, I would suggest you also squeeze in time for this other town called Ravello. We made the mistake of not spending time there because we just will get into why we did that. So Ravello is also a very cute town. Can't recommend too much for it. It's a music town apparently.
So I would actually strongly recommend Ravello. If I ever go back, I'm going there. So honestly, Positano, Sorrento, Amalfi, they all kind of look very similar. They all have these colored houses because, you know, the fishermen, they want to see. Okay, fine, maybe not Sorrento, but Positano and stuff. It's all quite similar, okay, honestly. Ravello was purely white. It was really interesting, and it's a music town. So I mean, the driver told me that apparently through the months of, like, I can't remember what month, like probably September to like March or something, I don't know, there are music festivals. So if time you visit, you can see some music festivals.
Very, very important, a mistake that we made. Please bring aqua shoes. Now, if you don't know what aqua shoes is, go on Shopee, go on Amazon, whatever, and order yourself a pair. Both of us actually own aqua shoes, and we didn't bring it because our dumb asses did not do research. And oh well, we did so much research that we forgot to do research on whether the beach were pebbly and rocky. It was very, very painful to walk with your bare feet. Do not, and I repeat, do not,
under any circumstance,
take a car from town to town. I did say take a car from Rome to Sorrento. That's okay. That's perfect. Do not take a car from Sorrento to Positano, Sorrento to Amalfi, Sorrento to Ravello, to Capri. No, take a boat, because the traffic on these roads are insane. Tell the story.
Okay, so basically, we were like, okay, hello everybody. Welcome to my channel. Oh god, we start driving and he says, okay guys, the traffic's pretty bad today, I'm so sorry. So, and we were like, okay, how bad can it be? It was really bad. So we spent about, what, 3 hours to get to the first town. Where did we go? Amalfi. And then we spent like 30 minutes there eating. And then we spent another 4 hours in a car, not moving, just like inching forward, getting to Ravello. And then spent another like 20 minutes there, and then we had to catch our train. So literally we spent probably 7 hours in a car and about 1 hour total. That's being generous, seeing the stuff we wanted to see. Yeah, it was just painful to sit in the car, like emotionally painful, because you'll just see this big bus in front of you constantly trying to maneuver its way. Like the roads are like 1.5 cars wide.
Actually, speaking of that, that gave me another tip. Now, I know a lot of people want to drive in Italy. I would say rethink it, because especially in Amalfi, I know we see those TikToks and those reels of those like pretty cars and like they're driving. Girl, they don't. No. They don't show you the behind the scenes and the reality of the roads there. The roads are this small, and in this small of a road, there are two giant buses coming at each other. How are you, with our literal Singapore driving on the other side, going to drive in Italy on the other side in this teeny tiny little road with two buses coming at each other? How? I don't think you can. But if you can, good for you. It is very hard to find taxis. Now, if you're on some Facebook groups, they do recommend this app called App Taxi. Make sure you download the correct App Taxi, because for half of the trip, I downloaded the wrong App Taxi and it could not work and I was very angry. But at the same time, the App Taxi that I did end up downloading on the last day didn't work too. So apps in Italy, not that great. Only Uber worked in Rome and Milan, but it's very
15 minutes
yes,
to come.
and it was also very expensive. So taxis in the Amalfi itself, we're just talking about Amalfi, very hard to get unless you are literally just standing and waiting, or you're just lucky and you can hail something. So be prepared to walk up very hilly roads and climb a lot of steps. So that's something to just put out there.
Two things I would recommend you do. One is get their special cocktail, which is basically just gin, lemonade, and blue syrup.
It was the blue grotto.
It was so good. You can't taste the gin. It's just lemonade. And okay, so this whole Amalfi, Sorrento, everything is known for their lemons. Okay, it's something we learned there. It's like lemons everywhere. So their lemons are really nice. So their lemonade, oh my god, it was so good. So that's number one. Get that drink. It's so good. And number two, same beach. Take a kayak and just kayak to your left for about half an hour, and you get to this other beach. And there's like ruins and stuff, and it's just pretty nice. Like, I found that pretty fun.
If this video had time for stories, there's so many
and
stories.
I did this sunset boat tour with this like kayak Sorrento thing. This is the guy called Umberto. You'll find it's pretty easy. It was honestly the best experience of my trip. Like, you should put some pictures and stuff. I took some banging pictures of the sunset. My phone nearly dropped, but that's a different thing. But yeah, it's just so beautiful. It's like this 2-hour tour. You can either do sunrise, sunset, or just in the day. But I think sunset's the best because you don't need to wake up. And like, it was just so beautiful. You see the sunset, literally like you're just rocking on a kayak in the ocean. You see the sunset. It's an experience you can never get. I mean, you can a lot of places, but you know, like, not in Italy. So you know, that was nice. And then you know, he'll just take you through these like ruins. He'll just take you through these like nice places. It's just a nice kayak tour. So it's cool. And then he also takes you to this this Bagni something in Sorrento, which is really hard to get to on foot. But it's this like really beautiful place, and you kayak there.
The place I wanted to go to.
Yeah.
We're in Florence. Okay, in Florence, things to do. There are not so much of things that we suggest like don't do, there are more so things to do. So one thing I would suggest for you to do is the wine tour in the Chianti wineries. We actually chose that instead of the Tuscany wineries, which I think also is very good. I don't know, we didn't go, but for the Chianti ones that we did go to, it was a very beautiful tour, very beautiful wineries. It was a lot of fun. Only thing, again, choose the time of the year that you go to wisely, because when we went, it was just very hot, so it was not as enjoyable as it was like, let's say, my wine tasting in Melbourne, which if you've heard the podcast, you would know how fun it was. But yeah, we did, but I mean, it was a good time. It was a good time. Do recommend it. Okay, now let's talk about luxury shopping. If you want to go luxury shopping, Florence is the place to go, my man. Oh my god. So basically, we went to the Florence outlet mall. Now to get there, you have to take a bus, which is specifically for the outlet mall. You basically have to walk. It's a little bit further out from the train station, and you have to get your tickets before you get on the bus, or you can actually get it on the bus itself. But I would suggest you be there early, because people go a bit cray-cray when they're trying to get on a bus to get very cheap luxury items. So that is our tip for you. Be there early, queue early, and get your tickets in advance, and just wait to board the bus, because you may not be able to board the bus. That's one. So yes, we went to the Florence outlet mall. Very nice place. It's just basically a huge piece of land with many different brands. So there are all the Italian brands, there are non-Italian brands as well. But it is definitely worth checking out if you're into that. And the prices, I have to say, were very good. I think it was about 45 to 50% off retail. So I mean, I'm just saying I shop a lot. So.
Paper scouting.
What my dad says is that for the shopping buffs, especially for those who really love
AKA
shopping.
my mom.
Yeah. Spend 2 days outlet mall shopping, whether they're both in Florence, whether one is in Florence, one is in Venice, whatever you want to do, but spend 2 days, because the first day you first need to scout. You need to scout, you need to look at what every shop has to offer, and you need to think of what you want to buy. And then the second day you'll be so familiarized with the place that you know exactly where to go and what to buy. So that's what we suggest. Spend 2 days in an outlet mall if you're really interested in shopping luxury brands. Second thing is go on weekdays. Weekends are definitely way more crowded, so weekdays are the days to go. And third thing, make sure to do your tax refund at the outlet mall itself. Do not wait to go to do it at the airport, because you will have to do it at the airport also, but it is a lot faster if you do your tax refund at the tax refund office in Florence outlet mall itself. It is just very near Versace, if I'm not wrong.
What I did is what you should do in Florence is you know, the Duomo, that whole very iconic place. If you played Assassin's Creed, you will love it. So yeah, there's a ticket that basically gets you into everything. Just go to the rooftop and everything. Just bear in mind, it's so there's you can climb to the top of the Duomo, and you can climb to the top of the what's it called, Bell Tower. Both of them are 500 steep steps each. So it was a proper hike. I was tired and it was hot, but it was nice, you know. So that's something you should do. And then you can go into the cathedral, the museum. There's a museum and stuff, so it's pretty nice. I don't think you need a tour guide for that. I mean, by this time I was also pretty tired of tour guides.
Yeah.
And you know, it's just nice to walk around and stuff.
Okay, so guess what? Half of it stopped recording, so let's go back to the freaking taxi stand. One very important thing when booking train tickets is we booked train tickets through this app called Omio. Now, there are many different train companies. You have Italo, Trenitalia, many train companies. We would recommend Italo. The thing is with Italo and all these other different train companies, there are different sectors that go into your fund of the price ticket for your train. What does this mean? Okay, so basically a portion of your price of the ticket goes into the class of where you're sitting. So where, example, are you sitting in economy class, prima class, or club executive, right, which is like first class. And also, by the way, club executive has a lounge, which came in very handy when all our trains got delayed. So if you have the money, I would say just get the club executive for certain ones, because they were amazing. Okay, and the other portion of your fare price goes into the flexibility of changing your ticket. Now, there is economy fare, and then there are like 2 other fares, basically saying that if you pay more, you have a better chance and better convenience of changing your ticket. And you may be thinking, oh, I won't be changing my ticket. You will. I planned everything to the T, and we changed every single one of our tickets. So please, if you're going to do anything, if you're going to spend money on the fare portion of what you can, like, basically pay more to be able to change your ticket rather than the economy class or whatever. It doesn't matter where you sit. It is more important and imperative that you are able to change your ticket, because through the Omio app you can't just change your ticket through the app itself. You have to email them, and from email they will email the train company. From the train company they'll issue you new tickets. You have to pay more, which was just really a lot of bullshit. So that was very annoying. So we learned the hard way, and we just hope you don't make the same mistake. Another thing we learned with trains as well in Italy is that you need to take the earlier trains. And we say this because I understand that if, let's say, you're in Florence the whole day and you want to take a train to Venice after that, you would want to like take a later train to Venice so that you have the whole day in Florence. I would suggest don't do that. Do a early train, because one, there'll be delays for sure. There's only one train out of our entire 2-week trip that did not get delayed, and even that we took it at the wrong stop. So there will just be things that mess up for trains. So definitely take earlier trains, because one, of the delay, and 2, also honestly with check-in and check-out times of your hotels, Airbnb, wherever you're staying, they're always in the afternoon. So you will have to find luggage storage lockers for your luggage, which there are, but then you have to lug your luggage there, and it's just too much hassle. So my advice would be to take earlier trains in the day and get that sorted. Go to Cinque Terre. Okay, the main thing we would say is for Cinque Terre, we did a day tour to all 5 villages within the place from Florence. If you don't like very hectic schedules, and if you are more into like really exploring each town, then don't do the tour. Then I would say just stay in Cinque Terre itself for a few days. But for us, because honestly everything starts to look the same, so we didn't really need to stay there. We were very happy just taking a day tour and we enjoyed it. Finally, let's get to the last two cities, Venice and Milan. Let's start off with Venice. Now, Venice, a lot
amazing.
For Venice, you know, you usually see that, oh, you only need a day, it's not that great. So our parents would definitely disagree with that. They loved Venice. Like, Venice was their favorite place out of all the different cities. And even my brother really enjoyed Venice. But for me, I do think that it was not the highlight of my trip, and I'll explain why. So here are a few things that you should take note of when you go to Venice. Everything is by water. There are no roads, so there are no taxis, and I sound like a very spoiled city girl, but I am those things. So like, I found it very inconvenient to travel by boats, and like the public transport was also a boat, and it was just all very confusing. And I don't know, I
thought that added to the charm of the city.
I don't need charm, I just need convenience. So that is the thing that annoyed me the most. And honestly speaking, there just wasn't a lot to do. The only reason why we could spend like 2.5 to 3 days there was because one of the days was raining, and we didn't spend like full days out and about, which I preferred. Like, we only did half days, like, and then we'd rest some of the, like, half the day, and then we come back, have dinner and wine, like whatever it is. So I do think you don't need that much time, but at the same time, I don't think 1 day is enough as well. I would say a solid 2 days will be just nice.
At least 2 days.
But if you really want to soak up the charm, if you're not looking to do something rushed, you don't want to do something hectic, then my parents would suggest that you do 3 days, and it is the best city in the world, which is what my mom would say. Also, a very important thing from Venice, make sure that you are departing from Santa Lucia, not Mestre, which is the mistake that we made. Gondola ride, overrated. But at the same time,
they don't sing, and they just look like they don't want to be there.
They don't want to be
Which
there.
is fair. I mean, they're just doing a job.
Yeah, but at the same time, I did get some bomb-ass pics, so check out my Instagram at SageLexX. But I just think that it is one thing that you just need to do in Venice. Whether it's worth it, maybe not.
I think what I learned is that you don't need to do it.
So for Milan, all you have to do there is just shop and eat, really. There's not much to do. Beautiful places to see. Again, the Galleria is very pretty, the Piazza is pretty. I would say
this time the Duomo has a lift.
Oh yes, definitely see the Duomo.
No, not Duomo, sorry, the rooftops. The rooftops have a lift, yeah.
Yes, they have a lift, so you don't have to climb the stairs. Definitely check that out. It was very pretty, and it took us about maybe half an hour, 45 minutes total. Nice views, interesting. Yeah, definitely go check that out. So 2 days I would say is more than enough. I would say we have an extra day. We didn't manage to do this, but there are many day tours from Milan to go to Lake Como and Switzerland. Yeah, you can go to Lugano in Switzerland and buy like Swiss chocolate. So I think if we had an extra day, or if we weren't as tired as we were, we would have done it. But honestly, we were just exhausted by the end of the trip, so we didn't do it. But I would recommend that you do it, because the couple that we met on one of our tours like raved about how amazing that was, so take it from them. Another thing also is that you should really stay in Navigli, which is basically the
nightlife.
It's the nightlife.
It's the Clark Quay.
It's the Clark Quay of Milan, and we stayed at the heart of Navigli, so like dinners and stuff were really fun. There were really cool bars and restaurants that we went to. We went to a live show, which was very interesting. One thing I will say is that for Milan, don't expect the food to be as authentic as the other places. I don't know why though, but
I think we just went to the wrong place.
No, even then, like we
didn't go to a single trattoria.
But even then, even in other cities, not every single place was a trattoria, and
yeah,
we still got very
always,
authentic.
Yeah.
This was just like,
it was Singapore pasta. Maybe.
It was like wine connection pasta, which is not bad. I love wine connection.
Hated it.
I love
after 2 weeks of like proper pasta.
Yeah.
Going back to that was quite depressing.
Thank you so much for watching. Please give this video a like, leave any questions you have in the comments below, and subscribe for more do's and don'ts of different traveling videos. I hope you enjoyed it. Send this to a friend, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.